guys, it's me again and welcome to my channel. So today I would like to introduce the comparison of vertebrae in different region. What I mean in different region is about the cervical region, the thoracic region, and the lumbar region. So actually the vertebrae in different region have different structure. So it's a rather complicated concept, not concept, but structure that you need to memorize it, but I bet you'll understand it. So I've divided into different colors. So the vertebral body I circled here with blue color here, vertebral body. And later on I will explain each by each. So the second one is a vertebral foramen. Vertebral foramen, as I've said in previous video, and it's a large hole. If you can't recall it, welcome to my previous video and watch it again, and thank you. And the third one is the transverse process. Here in green, I circle it in green. And the fourth one is the pink one, which is the spinous process here, spinous process. And the fifth one is the articular process, which is the surface of articulation, and it usually contains a cartilage. Here you can see. So let's focus in the cervical region, the vertebrae in the cervical region. The vertebral body is rectangular in shape with concave with superior surface as concave and inferior surface as convex. This is a very specific characteristic, yes, for the cervical vertebrae. And for the thoracic vertebrae, it is columnar in shape. The vertebral body is columnar in shape, and it has a heart shape in the superior view. It's just like a heart, yeah, as you can imagine. So lastly, for the lumbar vertebrae, it's a massive one. It's a very large vertebral body. So it's the biggest vertebral body, and it's like a kidney shape in superior view. So when you compare these two vertebral body between the thoracic region and the lumbar region, you can see there are more likely two angles here forming a heart shape, but for the lumbar region here, you can see the angle is less obvious, so it's a lot more likely to be a kidney shape. So for the vertical foramen, which is the large hole here, so first of all, I would like to talk about the cervical region. The vertebral foramen here is triangular in shape, and it is very large because relatively the vertebral body is very small, so the vertebral foramen is large here and have a rectangular shape. And for the thoracic region, it's more likely to be a circular shape and relatively small when compared to the vertebral foramen in the cervical region. It's smaller. And here in the lumbar region, the vertical foramen is the smallest, and it's also a triangular shape, but it's intermediate in size. Oh, it's the middle size when compared among all these three vertebral foramen. So the third point is the transverse process, which I circled here in green. So in the cervical region, the transverse process is here, and it is the passage of vertebral artery. It includes the foramen and transverse ciliarium here. Yes, because this too is a small transverse process with anterior and posterior tubercles. Tubercles means rough surface in anatomy. So, for the thoracic vertebrae, it includes a total of three parts. The first one is the two costal facet. Facet means the region with attachment of ribs. Two costal facet on the body, as you can see here, and also one transverse process in each side. Transverse process here, as you can see, pointed with a red arrow. Yes, and lastly, for the transverse process here in the lumbar region, it is long and slender, and it of course directed in a lateral side. So that's why it's called the transverse process. So for the fourth point is the spinous process. Here I circled in pink. The spinous process in the cervical region is bifid spinal process. Bifid means there are two heads, two minor heads here you can see in the spinous process of the cervical region. And for the thoracic region, the spinous process is sloping overlap the inferior vertebrae. As you can see here, it's pointing downwards, which is the inferior side. And lastly, for the lumbar region, the spinous process is short, broad, and also blunt. And it's again points downward, but it's short this time, very short and broad. So, last but not least, we're going to talk about the articular process. The articular process in the cervical region is oblique and relatively horizontal. As you can see here in the diagram, the articular surface, which means the facet, is horizontally placed and directed primarily superiorly and inferiorly. Yes, here. And for the thoracic region, the articular process is nearly vertical. It's different from the cervical region that I've mentioned previously. It is faced vertically, and the articular facet is faced to the frontal side, and it is the major point is that it's faced vertically. And for the lumbar region, it's nearly vertical, just nearly vertical, and so it's not 100% vertical. So the articular facet is nearly vertical and directed primarily medially and laterally, of course. So the above is all the comparison of different structure of vertebrae and the three different regions, namely cervical, thoracic, and lumbar. And hope you guys enjoy it and understand all the differences between different structure, including vertebral body, vertebral foramen, transverse process, spinous process, and also the articular process. So if you guys have different obstacles when encountering this kind of word, welcome to watch my previous video introducing these 5 different regions of the vertebrae. And lastly, thanks for watching and hope you guys enjoy learning, and of course and can gain something after watching my video. And thank you again, and Bye!